Welcoming back to the podcast, Nicole Gunka with Project Life. Nicole, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Doug.
Good to have you back. We talked about Project Life here on Chamber Amplified a couple of years ago, I think. But I want to give the whole history of the program and then kind of an update on where everything is. Certainly ties into March being Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month and all of the great work that you're doing. So let's first talk about how Project Life got started, more so, maybe it's appropriate to start with what it is exactly.
Yeah, so Project Life is a 2-year comprehensive program that teaches young adults, sometimes students, work skills by going out to work rotations throughout the school year, or in our adult program, we do it throughout the actual calendar year, as well as teaching them independent living skills, how to cook, how to clean, how to navigate taking medication on their own, navigating things in the community. So it's really supposed to be this comprehensive program that hopefully allows them to find a job, keep a job, and then be as independent as possible as they want in their home, at work, and in the community.
So I'll ask the obvious question, and I think the obvious answer, but it's great to hear it in practice. Why are these principles important?
I think they're important because it's setting our individuals who have disabilities up for success in the future, to be able to be independent, to live in a manner that's suitable for them, what they would like to see happen with their life, gives us extra members to our workforce that we may not have had previously without some of these folks being able to learn some job skills, determine what they actually like to do for work and what they could potentially do for work.
I think what's been real interesting and really uplifting about the program is the businesses that you've now worked with really love having people from Project Life in there. It brings just a new element to what they do every day. And I think it's not just the people taking part in Project Life benefiting, and it's not just the business benefiting from having extra employees. It's just a whole new perspective.
Yes, for sure. And we've seen a lot of growth with Project Life over the last few years, getting into businesses that we hadn't been able to tap into previously. And this year we've actually come full circle where we do have a past intern who graduated from our program and found a job in the community. And we are currently back at that rotation site for our current rotation. And that previous intern is teaching our current interns how to do some of the tasks at the job. So it's super heartwarming to see. It's super exciting. It just goes to show once we give someone an opportunity, what they can actually do.
I feel like since I've been back in Findlay and Hancock County that I've always noticed employers are very willing to work with people with developmental disabilities in their workplace. How did Project Life amplify that?
I think it just gives a platform for businesses to see that they're able to have folks come and work. It's nice because we have job coaches that attend with our interns. So there is a person there that is able to help intervene in times when maybe the intern doesn't understand what's being asked of them, or some maybe it's appropriateness at work. And so having that job coach on hand has been helpful for businesses to see that we can work with these folks and get them to just integrate just like anybody else would in the workplace.
You mentioned that you're coming back around on a cycle and everything. Let's talk just a little bit about the ins and outs of how the program works. You have a few different businesses that are a part of the program, but they kind of rotate in and out. Is that how that goes?
Yes. So we're constantly looking for new rotations. And the only reason for that is so that we can give a wide variety of jobs to try. We have a lot in the food industry. We have a lot of janitorial. So we're often looking for other locations sorry about that. We have a page in our building this morning. We have looked for light manufacturing and just some other opportunities. So we linked with the University of Findlay, GSW most recently. We're still in some of those food industry employers and working. We're just hoping to give a wide variety of opportunities for our interns.
Are there any businesses or industries where maybe you've been approached and you thought, I don't know, let's give it a shot and see how it works, and we're surprised at how well it came together?
Yes, I would say being back at the University of Findlay. So Project Search is an extension of Project Life. We had Project Search many years ago in our county. reaching back out to the University of Findlay about Project Life coming to them again. Nobody there had really heard of us, knew what the program was previously under Project Search, but they jumped right in. We were out at the horse barn. We had students on campus at the Buford Center, and we actually had students, or not students, I should say, interns, working with the maintenance crew, chopping up trees, painting lines on the soccer field. So I would say that was kind of our biggest challenge this year, was having 3 different locations and only 2 job coaches. But we're like, what's the worst that can happen? We had a lot of buy-in from the University of Findlay, so we were able to make things work there, and it was super successful.
And that's probably the secret sauce right there, is you have businesses who are interested, they support what you're doing. So they're going to have the patience in that ramp up time and getting someone familiar with what they're doing. You've had a wide range, like you said, a wide range of businesses. Who are some of the newer ones that have come on board? Obviously, the University of Findlay being one of them.
GSW, a light manufacturing company in Hancock County, is one of our newer ones. And we've actually placed a past intern there for employment. So that was super exciting to see. Stevie B's is another location. We started last year and we're back there again this year. We've also worked with the Hancock County Park District, the City of Findlay Park District. So we've been out at the Cubes, the Diamonds out there, and actually working inside at the ice arena, doing some janitorial work. So those are some of our newer ones.
Let's walk through the process. Maybe a family has a kid who might be interested in the program, or maybe a young adult who might be interested in the program. What does the enrollment into it look like? How does placement work? How do all the steps align?
So the first step is for the person who is wanting to participate needs to be connected with the county board, the Hancock County Board of Developmental Disabilities. So they have to be eligible for services with us. They complete an application. We go through an interview process where we interview them, asking just questions about how they do things in their daily life. Do they need help with certain things? What are they independent in? And then from there, we are starting something new this go round, where we're having the interns come out and shadow for a couple days to really see what the program is like. I think it's a really hard turn for some of our students that graduate and are looking for something in between, deciding if they're going right to the workforce. So it's a huge adjustment for them. It's not a school setting. It really is an adult setting. So we do want them to come and see what it looks like. We also want to know how well they're going to interact with our current interns that we have. And if they're good through the shadowing portion, they enjoy it, we think that they'll be a good fit, then we do allow them to continue in the program.
What I can only imagine how fulfilling it is to see people thrive in some of these positions and really start to take on some of these roles. What are some of the biggest wins that you've seen so far?
I think the biggest wins are the success rate in employment for our past interns. We've had interns who are here. We're typically up to a 2-year program, 4 rotations a year. We have some that leave our program early because they've been offered employment somewhere. The goal is not to have employment in any of those rotations, but it's certainly something we're excited about when it does happen. So I think the interns leaving early because they found employment, something they're passionate about doing, and it's working for them. I think the other successes are, we had our current person who's at GSW working there now, left our program after 2 years. He wanted GSW so bad, and he waited and waited and waited until they had employment open for him. And he is a rock star there. And so I just love hearing about him being included with all the folks that work there, going out to lunch with them, increasing his hours there. I think those are the biggest successes, but I also think it's the little glimmers of someone who comes in and is super shy, doesn't know how to communicate well with others. And by the time they exit our program, you wouldn't have recognized them 2 years ago.
Those are always the best stories, and we see it sometimes in Hancock youth leadership as well, where maybe it's the most quiet kid. By the time they're done, is one of the ones that's the most interactive and everything. And that's the ones where you step back and be like, all right, I love watching the light bulb go off like that, and getting them involved is great. I think you hit on a really strong point of this. I don't know if you would call it the main point of doing this or not, but there's that integration where they're not just working there. They're part of that work family, that work group where they're going and doing the team building activities and really just a part of everyday life out there. It enriches their lives. It enriches the lives of everybody working out there. That moment, I think, is, I don't know if that's the icing on the cake or that's the cake itself, but that's outstanding.
For sure.
So again, if people would like more information on how to get involved with Project Life, what's the best way to get started?
They can reach out to me at Blanchard Valley Center. Our phone number is 419-422-6387. They can go to our website to learn a little bit more about the program, blanchardvalley.org. But the best way is to contact me so that we can get connected and see what will be best for us moving forward in the future.
And the last thing is, I know we had you on a couple of years ago to talk about the project. We also had a couple of students come and speak at Fresh Brewed Business, I think roughly around the same time. And I think it's one of the presentations that we've done that stuck with the most people. It was so well done. I would encourage any business. Are you recruiting businesses to get involved in this, or is that kind of a more regimented process? Because I think a lot of the businesses that were there at Fresh Brewed that day really took a lot away from that presentation.
Yeah, we would love any business opportunity. We're always looking to grow. We recently changed our program in January to add another staff person who's solely focusing on the content portion for learning independent living skills. And then we still have our 2 job coaches who are going out. So we're looking to grow. With growth, we need more businesses. We need more opportunities. So anyone who's interested, we would love to meet to see how this could work for their business.
Absolutely. And I would be happy to pass along the information of any business that would be interested. So, Nicole, we appreciate your time today. Thanks for hopping back on the podcast with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.